Hello, hello, hello. Karen Creighton here. And here is our lovely Stephanie. And she's being my guinea pig today. She's my guinea pig for our new quantum reading experience. So, and the reason we're doing this is because we just wanted to share with you a little bit of fun and to show how Mother Nature can really, really help us at this time. And so basically, we've created these cards. And there's the quantum essence cards. So there's 25 of those. Quantum essences are wonderful supports for emotional, physical, and spiritual growth. And then I've got my herbal cards. There's 44 of those. And they're my favorite herbs that I use as a herbalist. But also, as a herbalist, of course, they've got physical components, but also they have emotional, physical, and spiritual support mechanisms with them too. So it's like using their frequency. And there's many, many ways of using these wonderful things, but these are just a little bit of fun to see if there's any messages out there for you. And so if you're watching this, there'll be something here for you, because with the quantum field, it's the micro. So yes, we're doing a reading for Stephanie, but also it goes to the macro. So there'll be something, a little gem that will be there for you. Anything you want to share, Stephanie, before I continue?
The quantum meridians, are you doing those cards in this part of the reading as well?
Oh, yes, I forgot about those.
So there's 3 elements to it, or maybe 4, because we're talking about the quantum essences, we're talking about the herbals, we've got the quantum meridians, which are very, very exciting as well. And then we're finishing off with an affirmation, are we not?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Of course, and we'll choose one from the quantum essences. So
beautiful, beautiful.
And so, okie dokie. Right, and away we go. So I'm just going to share my screen. This is quite a new way of us doing things. So we're just going to play. So please be aware. Right, so you can see my cards. So that's my herbal card.
Very flash.
That's my quantum pack, and this is the small Meridian pack. So we are going to start with a wee shuffle of quantum essences. As I say, there's 25 in this pack, and we're just going to pick 2. So past and present. So the reason I'm not doing future is because I believe that we in the present moment can completely change our future. So I don't believe that we need to do that. So, okay, 2 cards. In touch. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And reassurance.
Beautiful.
Okay. So I would say the first one, which would be the past, is being in touch with the past. Of course, the past is actually part of who we are. But if we look at the remedy for in touch is helping you get in touch with your feelings and to resolve emotions. So this is a reminder for you, Stephanie, and you who are watching, that we need to make sure that we clear any negative feelings and emotions that could be impacting our way of being right now, that can help us right here and now move into the future. So it's actually about, it's to help you feel good about yourself and about who you are and what you have to offer, and realizing that you have so much to offer, that you, once you start actively being totally you, then everything will come to the forefront and be at the right time and the right place for you right here, right now.
Exciting, that's beautiful.
So it can help you get in touch with your passion, and so you can activate your true calling, so who you truly are. So it's about basically us being able to let go of all of the veils and all of the flim-flam that's been holding us in time.
Love it.
Just that information from that little card, isn't that blooming amazing?
That's fantastic. Thank you for that.
Okay, and then we've got reassurance. So reassurance, of course, is, you know, it's it's reassuring you that everything's going to be fine and everything's going to be great. So it helps support the real you to come and speak your truth. So it's that those two are running so concurrently. It's unbelievable, isn't it? And so it's actually allowing you to safely stand up for what you believe in and in yourself. I believe, Stephanie, that you do that, but it's just to remind you.
Beautiful.
It's to totally remind you of who you are, and it brings you back into your heart space. And so, as we know, our minds can totally and utterly bamboozle us with lots and lots of information. But when we settle into our heart, then we truly, truly become in touch with everything else.
Beautiful advice. Thank you, Karen. It's awesome to share.
That's my absolute pleasure. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to just do the herbal cards now. So this is the fun bit for me. I love, love, love herbs, and I love being with herbs because herbs are just amazing to help us really access true health and well-being, and to empower us to take back that power. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same as what we did with the quantum essences. Sorry, I'm not used to doing this on a camera. Okay, so lovely, lovely herbs. What have you got to tell us today? Okay, so again, past and present. Oh, red clover and sage. Sage, of course, is giving sage advice, I would suggest. So yes. Red clover for me is the most amazing herb to help purify the blood. And so you'll see red clover everywhere you go. If you just look in your garden, you're bound to have some red clover growing there. And what I've noticed is with the weeds in inverted commas, they all have a purpose for us. Mm-hmm. And it's quite interesting. Yesterday, I'm just going to digress. We were out for a walk, and the walk we go along, it's been sprayed relatively recently, probably about 4 months ago. And what we noticed is there's a huge amount of tobacco weed growing where they sprayed the sprays. And so I was talking to my darling husband, and we were just chatting about various different things. And I said, this tobacco weed must have a place. It must have a reason why it's there, because nothing in nature happens by accident. And the interesting thing is the message I got was that the tobacco weed was cleansing the ground of the toxicity. Because it was interesting, there was no tobacco weed in the fields or anything that hadn't been sprayed.
Interesting.
Fascinating. Anyway, so just that was just a little bit of useful or useless information. And so if we look at red clover, again, blood purification really, really helps with the purification of the blood. It also can help with hypertension. So, for example, high blood pressure and anything to do with the vascular system, which is why it's so useful in this day and age. You know, we're having a lot of people with real problems with heart attacks and also with high blood pressure and strokes and everything else. And red clover as a herbal remedy can really, really help. And all you need to do is make tea with the flowers. And so it's also really good for hormonal help. It's really good for menopause and everything else. But if we look at the essence of it, because I think it's really important, so it can encourage emotional side of you to emerge, so you can be true to who you really are rather than to suppress those emotions.
That goes in keeping quite well within touch then, doesn't it, from the quantum pack? Absolutely.
And what I've noticed, Stephanie, when I've been playing with this, is I've noticed that there's always a link that follows through. Like always, you know, whenever you work with a client, there's always this link that keeps following through. So if you're struggling with the ability to relax and engage, being in the moment and everything else, this wonderful, wonderful flower can really, really help you. Now, there's many ways of doing it, and we won't go into that now because I can talk forever on these things. So I'm just going to keep this brief, because otherwise it can really, it can go into too long a video. And so basically what it does, it helps to activate the right brain. And so be in alignment and in balance with the left brain. So left, right brain balance. It's really cool. Okay, and then we go into sage. Sage is an amazing herb, renowned for being useful for bone health and everything else. And so, but it also has other, wonderful uses. So it's great for culinary and medicinal, and it's basically used for, it's high in linoleic acid and everything else. So, and vitamin A, and also supports with iron and calcium and copper and stuff like that. So if you look at sage, it's very similar to borage. So consequently, it's really, as a herbal, as an essence, it can really help with heavy-heartedness and lack of confidence when facing challenges. And who isn't lacking confidence in facing challenges at this present moment in time? Because we always take a step back and go, is this real? Is what I'm seeing for myself right here, is it for real? And it's actually, this is the remedy that's actually saying, I trust myself, and I trust who I am, and I trust the messages I'm being given. And so it's a really, really wonderful thing to help also with releasing of restlessness. And so if you're feeling restless, then it's a good thing. Sorry, I've just got a dog decided to join me, and she's chewing something. So basically it helps to clear the mind, and it helps to let go of that restless sort of energy that some of us are feeling. And it helps to focus. So keep focused. So that is the journey of red clover and sage. So
very interesting,
isn't it? I just love these herbs. They're just amazing. So now we're going to move into, and we're just going to do one meridian. So meridians, as you probably know, they're acupuncture lines of your body, but also we also have acupuncture lines on Mother Earth. Did you know?
Yep.
And Mother Earth needs some support at this present moment in time. And so we're going to see, actual fact, we're not going to see, we're going to do with this is Stephanie's journey. We're not going to be doing Mother Earth, but it'll be Mother Earth as well. So, okay, and here we go. And so we have small intestine meridian. And small intestine is really, really interesting because, with all of the meridians, we've all got various different aspects of it. So you've got different ailments that could come about because of blockages in meridian lines. So you might think, oh, small intestine, well, and you might have problems in the gut, and you probably do, but it's not necessarily just those sorts of symptoms that it can be. So if we look at the small intestine, it's shoulder arm syndrome, which is obvious really, because when you look at the lines and things on here, you can see where that could really affect it. Also cervical imbalances, so cervical erosion and painful sex and stuff, lymph congestion of the neck and arm and shoulder, neuralgia, trigeminal neuralgia, so you can get real pain there. Low blood pressure, cardiac dysfunction, hearing disorders, conjunctivitis, gastric dysfunction, of course, bloating, leaky gut, and low energy. Now, of course, it can be many, many other things, but those are the main symptoms that we get when the sort of meridian is blocked. But also there's an emotional component to this, a feeling of when you're sort of imbalanced, you get a feeling of mental disharmony really, and the ability to to relax and everything else. And of course, that's where sage comes in, of course. And so, you know, it's all of these things coming into play. And it's also forgetfulness and stuff. When you're really balanced, healthy expression, joy, warmth, vitality, excitement, great memory, and making good decisions and clarity of thought. So if this has come for you today and this resonates, it might be worth, well, it is worth looking into that and actually mentally taking on board where these lines go and tracing them, so you can trace them up your fingers and up your arm and around there, and that can help release. And also I would suggest doing some sort of affirmation, which we're coming on to right now. So the affirmation I think would be ideal is for reassurance, and reassurance today is the affirmation that comes with reassurance is, I am a sanctuary for your heart, encouraging you to find your own voice.
Beautiful.
I am a sanctuary for your heart, encouraging you to find your own voice. Now we'll put that affirmation below the video, and I would encourage you to say it out loud. If it resonates with you, say it out loud 7 times.
Beautiful.
Every day for the next week. And of course, Stephanie is one of our wonderful quantum essence practitioners. Anything you want to say about any of that, Stephanie? I'm just going to stop share so that we can actually see you. There we go.
Very exciting to see these coming through in card forms, Karen. So congratulations on creating them, because it's very, very exciting. And what I want to reassure to everybody, using that word, excuse me, so that wasn't meant to be a pun, but what I want to reassure to everybody is the essence of these cards are reaching out to you if you're watching this video. So you don't need to have something tangible, physical in your hands. The message is already in the ether for you. Just accept it and flow with it.
Yeah. It's just a reminder, isn't it?
Yeah. Now it's interesting because many of you wouldn't know me well enough to know that I do have issues with my arms. So looking at this small intestine meridian line, I was sitting there looking at it going, oh, tooth down the neck. And I could pinpoint quite a few spots on that meridian line. So even me, who works with meridian points and so forth, it's always good for me to have a reading, because I step back from helping others, therefore project myself out of the equation. And now I'm receiving information for myself. It's good to have. Thank you, Karen.
It's my absolute pleasure. And so I love doing these. They're such fun. I mean, like we said, we've only just started doing them, and so it's real.
So what's the plan? You're going to make it a regular occurrence? You're going to make it an offer? You're going to put it in as part of your services? I'm going to put it as part of a service, because it's, you know, I can do it as part of my consultations, and so I'm going to put that on my website, which is karencreighton.com. And also I'm going to be doing a regular, I'm not saying how often, I'm going to do a regular video on this site. So so I think it's really spread, or
yeah, so we're just going to do for everyone. And the interesting thing is a friend of mine came into my head just before we started recording, and I did a very quick video of her with 2 cards, one quantum essence and one herbal. So I think if anyone who would like a quick card reading, I can do that for free for the first 10 people.
Wow, it's exciting. Very generous. Thank you, Karen.
That was a spur of the moment thing, and anyone who knows me knows I do that all the time. So
excellent. Wonderful. Well, we'll leave it at that for now, because I've got a very loud lawnmower about to approach my window here, so you're not going to be able to hear me in about 45 seconds. But that's fantastic, Karen. So thank you so much for that reading. The guys, once again, just to reiterate, all the information will be down below anyway, and Karen's right up. And here comes the noise. So I'll say goodbye and leave now before I.
Au revoir.
Thanks, Karen.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Thank you.